Inspiration doesn't start with a speech or a strategy. It starts within. Great leadership begins with how you lead yourself, your mindset, your values, your emotional presence. When you embody the kind of leaders you wish others to follow, only then can you truly inspire. Think about the most inspiring leader you've ever known. Maybe it was a teacher, a coach, a manager, even a historical figure. What made them stand out? It wasn't just their title or position. It was their ability to inspire others. True leadership isn't about authority. It's about influence that begins within. Before a leader can inspire others with a compelling vision, they must first be deeply clear on their own purpose. Inspiration starts from the inside. When you know what you stand for, why you lead, and what difference you want to make, you naturally begin to lead with conviction. For much of my early career, I was deeply passionate about technology. I rose through leadership ranks by focusing on performance metrics and innovation. But something always felt missing. I witnessed and practiced a style of leadership that was highly impersonal. Over time, I became increasingly dissatisfied, not just with others' leadership, but with my own. What changed me wasn't a single moment. It was a journey shaped by years of observation, frustration, and eventually the study of what truly drives innovation. And the answer became clear. People do. Technology evolves because people grow. Trust is the foundation of inspirational leadership. People follow leaders who are genuine and stand by their values. No one is inspired by someone who says one thing but does something else. Leaders who act with integrity create environments where people feel safe to contribute their best work. Authenticity means being real, admitting mistakes, and leading with honesty. When leaders are transparent, their teams feel valued and respected. Trust isn't given, it's earned through consistent actions. Real passion, the kind that inspires, isn't just about energy or enthusiasm. It begins with purpose. When leaders are deeply aligned with what they believe in, their passion becomes steady, focused, and contagious. When a leader's actions are fueled by inner clarity and authentic purpose, others feel it. They trust it. They want to be part of it. In fact, research from Deloitte found that purpose-driven companies experience 30% higher levels of innovation and are more likely to attract and retain top talent. Empathy doesn't begin with listening to others. It begins with listening to yourself. Leaders who are in tune with their own emotional landscape are far more capable of understanding and supporting others. Emotional intelligence starts with self-awareness. When leaders recognize their own emotional triggers, values, and inner narratives, they become more present, more compassionate, and more human. That presence opens the door to genuine connection. Research by Tasha Eurich shows that leaders with high self-awareness improve collaboration by up to 25%. And Dan Goleman's work confirms that 90% of leadership success is attributed to emotional intelligence and not technical skill. Before a leader can truly empower others, they must first trust themselves. Trust their values, their instincts, their roles as a guide rather than a controller. Empowerment starts when a leader does the inner work to let go of fear and lead with belief in others. When leaders embody emotional awareness and confidence, they create space for others to grow. They delegate not because they have to, but because they trust. Empowerment is an invitation. I see your potential. I believe in your ability. Research consistently shows that empowered teams are more engaged, resilient, and innovative. A Gallup study found that employees who feel empowered by their leaders are 67% more likely to put in extra effort at work. Resilience isn't about pretending everything is fine. It's about staying grounded in your values when things get hard. Inspirational leaders don't just bounce back. They lead themselves through difficulty in a way that gives others hope. Truly, resilience starts with self-regulation. When leaders face uncertainty with emotional steadiness, they give their teams something powerful: belief. Optimism isn't blind positivity. It's grounded courage. According to Harvard Business Review, teams led by resilient leaders show greater agility, engagement, and long-term performance, even under pressure. Great people leadership doesn't begin with influence. It begins with embodiment. When leaders live their values, trust themselves, and do the inner work, they naturally empower others. And when people feel empowered, that's when inspiration takes flight. This is the heart of people-centered leadership. You embody integrity, self-awareness, and clarity. You empower others by creating trust and opportunity. And through that journey, you inspire, not by force, but by presence. This is how lasting change happens. Within you, then around you. Leadership is not about being in charge. It's about taking care of those in your charge, says Simon Sinek. So ask yourself, what's one way you can lead from the inside out, starting today? Share your comment in the comments below, and let's build a world where leadership uplifts, empowers, and inspires.